live finally. Ooh, sorry, we had some microphone issues, but we are finally up on both Instagram and YouTube. All right, so as you can see, this is voice only. I didn't have a chance to change or take a shower or wash my hair, so maybe one day I would do it with my face on. But yeah, so we had some chaos in the morning. Haven't done this in a while, so we're finally on the way. So today's topic is on Lucifer. So, Dejana, how are you doing? FG, how are you doing? If anybody else is still here, say hi. Okay, so we had a few people here before. We lost some people, but it's okay. They'll be back. It's just the way this is connected. So we're live both on YouTube and Instagram. If you are on Instagram and if I don't see your message, come on to YouTube or I can reply to you a little bit later on. So today we're going to talk about Lucifer. Um, just a brief overview on Lucifer, and we are focusing on working with Lucifer. Um, Maybe not specific ritual to evoke Lucifer. Maybe I can include that in a book coming up. So we're going to spend about the earlier parts of this program on talking about Lucifer and Eddie, and we're just waiting for people to join. And you can ask questions about Lucifer or anything else about Lucifer. And so we haven't done this in a while. So the other half of this program will be we doing a Black Magic hypnosis session. I'm a certified hypnotist. I have been doing hypnosis for more than 20 years now. Without flexing too much, my resume is the size of a telephone book. The point is, we are, instead of traditional ritual, the point of traditional ritual is to put us in an outer state of mind, a trance like state, right? Which is great. And we are using more modern method, which is self-hypnosis, guided meditation, or traditional hypnosis, whatever way you want to put it, to put us in an outer state of mind where we can go meet Lucifer directly using Black Magic hypnosis. So, if you want, you can still light the candle and do the whole evocations and things like that, which is fine. We will still do that. But this is a new approach to Black Magic. We are substituting the ritual with a hypnosis session. And in the past, it had to work well. The same wisdom that could be bestowed upon you and blessings that could be bestowed upon you with a traditional ritual can be reached the same way we do hypnosis, the same way that we use hypnosis to accomplish. Of course, you still have to work on your craft. This is just a blueprint or like a path or a method for you to approach Black Magic, to approach these entities. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just like doing the perfect ritual, right? Um, you can follow the book perfectly, step by step, every incantation pronounced perfectly, but still nothing would happen because you are not at that level. Same with, this method, right? But we're accelerating this process and we're using methods that are much more approachable for hey Cynthia on Instagram, how are you? We are on YouTube too, so feel free to join us there. um, yeah, so we don't have a lot of people here. Any questions about Lucifer so far? Hi Cynthia. All right, so on the topic of Lucifer, right, we're just going to go through some basic facts. So Lucifer was first introduced in the Old Testament. The Bible verse was from Isaiah 14:12. The exact passage is, "How thou hast fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, the son of the morning, how thou art cut down to the ground, which thou'st weakened the nations." Um, so that is actually, the word Lucifer was actually a translation into Greek. Um, let me find the Hebrew translation here. I have the. All right, so basically, in Hebrew, it means morning star. Where was the word? I had the Hebrew translation here, but okay. In Hebrew, Lucifer was Halal ben Shahar, the shining one, O son of dawn or morning star, right? So for those of you who are Lucifer fans, in Isaiah, Lucifer's name is Halal ben Shahar, but in the Greek version, it was Lucille, right? So this is how the word Lucifer came to be. So right. So in that context, Lucifer was morning star, and the only star that could be bright enough to see in the morning was Venus. So a lot of people would associate Lucifer to Venus, right? Um, what was I thinking? Right. Oh, so the point was Lucifer, meaning that um, it is to lead humanity out of um, darkness into the light. That's what morning star means. Um, and in the context of Isaiah 14, right? So this was actually Isaiah talking to a king that he has fallen down, like his pride has been taking him down. Um, okay, so the Jana said, Dion, I need protection from evil spirits. I need Lucifer to save me. Yeah, we can talk about that offline. I had attack. It was strong and scary experiences. I'm afraid that it will happen again. You know, as a black magician, you're going to see spirit all the time, right? What do you mean scary and strong? Um, we can evoke spirit to protect you, but first you have to. I think this is what Lucifer wants you to think too. Lucifer wants you to first become strong yourself, right? Lucifer or Michael or Uriel or the spirits are not here to save you. They're here to make you strong so you can protect yourself. Uh, Wavy, hey, Wavy, you're finally here. How to connect with Lucifer? That's a good question. Through, long sets of rituals. Um, I mean, a lot of beginners would think that, we can just do ritual once and then things will appear in front of me and I can do a lot. And that is not the case, right? Um, especially somebody high level as Lucifer, you need to practice a lot. You need to get your astral sense correctly, and you have the right intentions. So does every other spirit, right? A lot of beginner would just find a book, wave a wand, light some candles, and nothing happens, or they wish for something that is unattainable, or things that that they knew it's not going to come true, like win the lottery or whatnot, and then when it doesn't happen, they gave up. So, and also Lucifer and all these spirits are also watching you and seeing what you're asking of them and your intentions, right? And you can't hide intentions from a spirit. They see through you. You can say whatever you want. They can just look at you and then they will know what you want. So first, clear up your intentions. Um, well, that is already a lot of work, right? And you have to keep doing rituals. Can you describe Lucifer's characteristics? He is, strong, very powerful. I was going to get into that a bit later, but we can talk about this now. Strong, powerful. I wrote out the word prideful. He has a lot of energy, very solar oriented, um, very muscular, but he can also be angered very quickly. Um, so like very hot temper kind of spirit. Um, very combative. You have to be very decisive, um, and masculine, right? So you have masculine as in like characteristics of a strong leader, characteristics of a very powerful alpha person. So you kind of have to meet um, his energy and his characteristics for you to get close to him. Connection does not mean summon. That's a good question. Um, you can feel a little bit connections with these spirits, but as a Western ceremonial magician, you kind of have to summon them. I mean, there are some people that are very talented and can sense spirits, but they are mostly quote unquote useless. Like, oh, hey, we have people who join us on Instagram. Hello, how are you? Wave back to Elaine and Abbas Touch. So we are both on Instagram and on YouTube. So if you say something on Instagram and I don't answer you immediately, come on to the YouTube side. So if you summon a spirit a lot, you will have a connection. Um, I mean, you can like listen to music. Let's say name him as like Tyler Swift, right? You can have a good connection with Tyler Swift. That does not mean you're talking to Tyler Swift, right? You get what I'm saying? Like you can have a good connection with the energy of a spirit, but you're not summoning them, right? Like you can have a good connection with a certain religion, but you don't have to be practicing them. Summoning them, quote unquote, actually doing rituals for them is a whole different level of connections. Maybe that makes sense. Like you don't have to talk to somebody to have a connection with them. You can feel them, but that doesn't mean that they're talking to you, right? Like they could have left some wisdom for you to follow. So good question. So summoning does not mean connecting. Like the spirit could have left some wisdom for you, but that doesn't mean that you're talking to them, right? Like you could have read a book about somebody who died 1,000 years ago, and you feel strong connection with their words, but that doesn't mean that you're talking to them, right? Okay, so good question, but we have a distinction there. Um, so the first Bible verse was Isaiah 14:12, and more interestingly, these days, the second Bible. So that was the only time, according to my research, that Lucifer was actually mentioned in the Bible, but and not even directly mentioned in the Bible, right? So only the classical Greek pronunciation of Lucille, which means the light bringer, um, was in that version of the Bible. And the second mention on the Bible that is not official, but often quoted these days is at the end of Revelations, which means like this is near the end of the Bible, right? Hello, rap by me. So if you're on Instagram, we are both on YouTube and on Instagram, and the YouTube voice connection is much better. So I would encourage you to jump on over to YouTube if you want a better sound quality. Um, how can Lucifer work for me? Okay, that's a complex question. I'll get back to. Okay, so like I think you are thinking it wrong. Lucifer doesn't work for anybody. He is the king of hell. He can help you to accomplish things, but no spirit works for you. Okay, maybe it's just the way English was taught to you, but yeah, if- the sooner you get that out of your head, the better. Spirit doesn't work for you; you work for the spirit. Um, and in doing so, they could reward you with things that beyond your imagination. But yeah, but get the thinking out of your head. Spirit, especially Lucifer, maybe in a very low level spirit who needs something from you would be quote unquote work for you. Maybe like a deceased human spirit that wants his sister to know he loves him or something. Maybe they will entice you to work for them. At the level of Lucifer, no, you don't. He doesn't work for you. Um, he may help you. You can ask him for help. Maybe if you want to become a professor or something, throughout through many rituals and dedications and sacrifices and giftings and doing walking his path. He will open up the road for you to walk to become a professor, or be a highly knowledgeable person, or you not even become a professor, but you will have the knowledge and experience of being a professor, right? That's the path that a spirit could open for you, but they never work for you. Okay, so the second passage of interest lately is from the Bible, is in Revelation. Let me find the passage. It's Revelation 22:16. This is near the end of the Bible. The Revelation is the last book of the Bible, right? So in the King James version of the Bible, Revelation 22:16, it says, I, Jesus, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, bright and morning star. So I have been told that in the Greek version, the bright and morning star was translated to Lucille or something close to Lucifer. So these days, a lot of occultists would argue that I, Jesus, is the offspring of David and Lucifer, right? So, um, so when you hear people say that Jesus is Lucifer, that is where that came from. Um, but it just sounds like it is a misinterpretation of that word. Like when that passage was written, Lucifer was not worshipped as an entity. Um, so the person who actually wrote this down, A, does not mean that Jesus is Lucifer, definitely not. And B, he doesn't even have the idea that Lucifer as an entity exists, right? So, you cannot, it's called anachronism. You cannot um, use the future idea to plug in the past and say this is what the ancient people are thinking. The Jaina said, which evil entities that are doing make people unhappy. It's not. I think the Jaina, you got the wrong idea of spirit. Spirit doesn't make people unhappy. It is how you transmute the power of these spirits that have an effect on this world, and they don't judge what is good or bad or happy or unhappy, right? That's not what spirit do. Um, it is your interaction with the spirit that manifests things. The spirit itself is neutral in good and evil. Wifey said, if I have the characteristics of Lucifer, does it mean that I'm connected to him? Like, what do you mean by connection, right? Like, you could maybe receive better of Lucifer's teaching and blessings and his ideals, but it's not like you're physically connected to him, right? Let's say you have the characteristics of Taylor Swift, right? But you are not connected to her in a way. Like, you can dance like Taylor Swift, you can sing like Taylor Swift. So, in a way, you have some connections with Taylor Swift, but Taylor Swift may never know who you are, right? So, I think, like, in the Instagram era of occultism and black magician, a lot of things are highly simplified. And I guess, like, kind of like a popcorn scholar kind of thing, right? Like, a lot of people would just tell you, like, if you do this one thing or you behave this one way, you are the spirit. And but like, you are ignoring um, a lot of hard work and scholarly tradition to lead you up to this point. You get what I'm saying? All right. So Lucifer, from my research, has not really solidified or etherealized, put it this way, as an entity until the medieval time, right? Um, and I guess, like, partially from my thesis and my way of thinking is that Lucifer has become an entity of enlightenment. Oh, excuse me. Let me get some coffee. Now, keep in mind, rational thinking is a very modern way of thinking. So wifey says, so I could connect with him by summoning. What do you mean? If you want to talk to him, you need to do the work. Summoning is one way, or unless he really wants to talk to you. But at this point, um, I think you need to work a lot harder for him to see you. Like, you and another billion people wants to talk to him, wants his audience, right? And maybe off topic right now, but, like, you have to elevate your mind and your actions to meet what these spirits want. You're not just summoning, even though that takes years to master the craft, to have astral sense. And B, you also have to be, in a way, in business with these spirits. Like, you have to walk that path. You have to They have to take you as an interest. Maybe they think you're cute or something, but, like, the kind of blessings that they would give you for that, just because they like you, is very minimal. You have to be like Holy Mary, that level of natural significance for them to just come down and talk to you. But bearing that, and you are not, um, you have to take the kind of actions. You have to be doing um, what the spirits. You have to be. Your actions have to be in line with what the spirits want, right? You may not be conscious of it, and we can give examples, right? Like, maybe you are a doctor or something, and and there are people or animals that the spirit wants you to help, and you put yourself and Lucifer or these spirits will put yourself in that position to help the people or the animals that they want you to heal. So that is something that a task that the spirits want you to do. And in a high level, you can partner up with these spirits and quote unquote in business or in enterprise with them. And this is how you get a very close quote unquote connection with them. Like, when they find that they need you to do things for them. So long story short, so that is how you connect with higher level of spirits. Being worshipful is important, but that is just the beginning. I mean, it's kind of like Taylor Swift, right? We go back to Taylor Swift. Just shouting in a concert and say, Taylor Swift, I love you, wouldn't get you very far. She may turn around and she may take a picture with you or whatnot. But, I don't know Taylor Swift, but, I'm willing to bet that she won't remember somebody who simply say, I love you and send her flowers and buy ticket to a concert, right? All right. All right. So my point was, Lucifer was a symbol of enlightenment, which means rational thinking, which means evidence-based thinking, which means logical thinking. Wifey said, well, you have to do a lot of summoning. You have to walk the path, Wifey. You have to, like I said, you have to walk the path. It's not an overnight kind of thing. It takes years of summoning. It takes years of ritual. It takes years of, doing the things that they want you to do, one day at a time, and slowly earn the trust. Johnny asks, how can I know if Lucifer accepted me? And which is those signs? Well, it's not a black or white thing, right? Sometimes part of your wishes may manifest. I mean, that's a good question for like a beginner level of Black Magician. At a higher level, you're going to get astral sense, and it is a blessing that they bestowed upon you. And even with astral sense, they are very selective on what you can hear and what you cannot hear, right? And you will find out that from what you offer and your deeds and your path, that the spirits are laying out clues for you to follow. Sometimes it will be like random occasions, or sometimes you would find that you did a random good deed and you feel rewarded. But like most people would just miss out those clues. So you have to be practicing a lot to sharpen your sense, right? It's like you ask a chef, how could you tell this particular spice in a samosa? They can kind of describe this tangy feeling or, a bit of saltiness at the back of your throat. It's hard to describe, right? But like if you have been a chef for many years, if you taste a samosa, you can tell, what kind of spice is in it, or you can even tell, which region of India is that spice from. I don't know that I answer your questions. I think you guys are on the right path in asking questions. But it is also evidence that you guys are just starting, and all this will be clear to you as you do more rituals and summon more. And like in the beginning, like I would do like 5 to 10 rituals every night by myself. Like I went through thousands of candles in a month. and I become quote unquote professional. I because I need more practice time, and even then, it takes me nonstop, like night after night. Like I light so many candles and incense that I think I have like breathing problems. Um, so far, I think I have breathing problems from inhaling so much smoke and incense and wax. Right, that's the level of intensity you have to approach to your occult practice. Hello, El Tart, El Lart. Can I just call you El Lart? El Lart Create Bell Sat 6T. Hello, Omigate Max. Hey, do I know you guys from somewhere else? Um, yeah, if I know you from somewhere else, please let me know. Yay, Instagram, Wave. So yeah, so if I know you guys from somewhere else, let me know, your handle on somewhere else, okay? It's hard for me to tell. Um, how can I get Lucifer's attention? So chat, anybody could help wifey here on how to get Lucifer's attention? Well, that's a good question. Well, first, this is like general um, occultism. So first, you want to set up an altar for this particular spirit that you want their attention. If it is Lucifer, um, I guess like you can get his sigil. Like okay, so if you're a beginner, then use sigils, right? In the beginning, I use a lot of sigils, and then later on, I find that in the higher level magic, it doesn't really matter. But in the beginning, you should use the sigil, hand draw Lucifer sigil. Um, Another occultist, famous occultist, once said sigil is like it's like a routine that they are accustomed to. Um, like if you keep say doing the same thing, if millions of people keep doing the same thing looking for that particular entity, they will recognize that as a sign, and then they will contact you. So like sigil works that way. So print out his sigil or hand draw his sigil, place that on your altar, put a lot of offerings on your altar. At the beginning, you could use urns or incantations for that particular entity, such as Lucifer. Put some gift on the altars, like food or um, valuables, um, maybe gold chain or something like that. It could be sympathetic, right? Like chocolate or canned food or something. Like wifey, you're Asian, right? Like Asian do good. Like Asians are very proficient at altars. Like you didn't even know. Same way you would set up an altar for your ancestor or Guan Gong, right? And you put your intention on the altar, maybe ask Lucifer for something. Um, I don't know, maybe this handsome boy would say hi to you or help with your career or something. Have a kind of grand, like they would get you would get their attention better if you are wishing for something other than yourself, or like I have a grander, more creative um, kind of wish, right? Like everybody just asks Lucifer for money and very specifically, $1 million by this, and like they're like okay, but like that's not very interesting for them, right? Like have something that they would be interested, like I want to write a book that would just be authentic, right? You don't have to like kiss their ass, but like if you're authentic, they would appreciate it. Like I want to write a book about I don't know what you do, maybe coffee culture in Jimsajoi or something, right? Jimsajoi is an area of Hong Kong. I don't know, something like that, something that you're truly interested. So in the beginning, unless you are Stephen Hawking or Einstein or something, Lucifer will send one of his henchmen to help you. or 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 a follower spirit of Lucifer to help you. Like if you wish for something, very mundane, right? Like, I just want to date this guy. Something like really, really mundane. You're not going to get Lucifer's attention. He will appreciate it, but he will probably send like one of his henchmen to help you. Kind of like I was going to get into this Dr. Faust. Like Dr. Faust have a lifelong contract, like have an eternal contract with Lucifer that he would sell his soul to Lucifer, specifically Lucifer. In return, he will have like all the material goods and enjoyment in this world. Like Lucifer never actually talked to him, talked to Dr. Faust in the novel. He sent his henchman, Mephistopheles, to kind of like entertain Faust until he dies, right? So the higher orbit your wish is, the more likely you'll get the attention of Lucifer. Sometimes you could like set up a altar for a very specific uh, entity, but some other entity will come and help you, right? And it doesn't have to be named like various famous kind of um, spirit that you summon. Sometimes you summon a spirit, and then a completely different spirit will come forth and help you out. So you don't have to be gung ho and lock on Lucifer. Sometimes, like as a practicing black magician, like I have. Hey, Tanya, good to hear from you. We actually have a lot of Hong Kong people here. Um, so we're talking about Lucifer here. Um, okay, I kind of lost my. Oh yeah, so sometimes you can like make a wish. Hello, Frostbright. Yeah, so if we have met before, please type in your call sign or your name from the other social media platform that we've met. Um, there's no way for me to know who you are. Oh yeah, so it's more better work on your intention and what you wish to accomplish in your life, and then maybe it is known for a fact that these spirits would pass you to other spirit that could uh, that could better help you. So it's good to start with Lucifer. Oh yeah. So my point is like me being a practicing black magician with clients. Sometimes specific clients want to connect with a specific spirit. So this is why me, as a practicing black magician, are more specific with a particular spirit's energy and names and traditions and things like that. Um, well, I talk about this. So Wavy and Tanya, you guys could look up my Cantonese podcast. I talk about Rolex. I could like I must have talked about Rolex here before. Um, so Rolex is not the name of the guy who found the Rolex. Rolex is a genie spirit and the contract between the spirit Rolex and the founder of that company is that if he names the company after Rolex, then the spirit Rolex would help him to become the most valuable company in the world. Um, and of course, they have to work hard to accomplish that. But the road was open, and did you know Rolex, the company, is actually a charitable organization now since the founder died, and have no heirs. So Rolex itself become the manifestation with physical presence in this world, and become a symbol of power and luxury and wealth, right? So my point is, nobody knew who Rolex was until he became um until it became what it was, right? So my point is, yeah, so focus on your intention, focus on what you're working on, set up an altar for a particular spirit, and don't worry if that particular spirit, if you got another spirit that is not Lucifer that you're summoning. The Jaina said, I need to know about spiritual numbers and what it means in dreams. So yeah, so that's a good question. I won't be hello quasi free X. Yeah, once again, if I met you from before, you let me know. Okay. Um, so what was I saying? Um, oh yeah, spiritual numbers. They are just markers. Um, so quasi maybe scroll up and connect with this conversation. So we're talking about Lucifer today, but we're just generally doing question and answers about occultism. And I kind of lost track of my thoughts. What was I saying before this? Oh yeah, so numbers. So maybe those are signs that a spirit is around you. Um, don't be too concerned about what specifically number means for what. I know you see that a lot on Instagram. This number means that, and this number means that. Well, first of all, most of those explanations are not really explanations. Those are just very generalized. Like, if you see repeating number 5, that means a message is coming for you. Well, duh. But like that really means that sometimes the spirit is around you, or a certain message was received, or something is um, you're on the right path. Basically, that's what it means. Okay, don't think too hard about it, but it is generally well considered if you receive a number like that. Cherish it, document it, and be thankful that a spirit is sending you that message. Um, Wifey said, Dion, would you consider having a Black Magic course? Yes, I would. As soon as I got some free time, I put it together. I can put it in English and Cantonese. If I put it in Cantonese, would you help me sell it? It's safe for me to do this ritual as a beginner. Yeah, you can do any rituals as a beginner. Would it be effective? I don't know. Um, but well, there are some like boundaries, right? Like, don't do there are magic that nobody should do, like excessive blood or sacrificing an innocent animal. I mean, that's a fine line to be drawn. There are a lot of culture that um, do animal sacrifice, but that is also at the same time that is their food, right? Like their religion that say a prayer before they slaughter an animal for food. Um, so be sensible. I mean, yeah. Um, try not to. That's a good question. Maybe I should like write an article on that there. Like a bad ritual would be like, you know, I guess like they are like heavy metal people that literally summon the evil side of spirit, but like it's not the evil side spirit that they summon. It's more like an expression of their own reckless side. Um, that those people give like occult a bad name. But mm, maybe you should be more specific on what ritual are you thinking about. As long as you're respectful um, in the summoning, as long as you do your homework and find out the history of that particular spirit, as long as you are asking for something sensible and afterwards you're grateful and sensible and be grateful for everything that comes to you. So it's not the ritual itself that will brings you danger. It's more like people disrespecting the spirit that brings you the danger. Okay. Was a free X. Lucifer is not evil. Wave, he said, Eon, what have you asked for Lucifer? So how do we meet Lucifer? Well, like I said before, so like okay, so in the later half of this live stream, I'm going to do a Black Magic hypnosis session, which we do often in this live stream. I'm going to use my hello Instagram chill mode D33. So if you're listening to this on Instagram, we are also on YouTube. Okay, the sound quality on YouTube is much better. So So join us there if you can. So like when we are done with this question and answering, which is great discussion, I'd rather we have this discussion than me lecturing. So when we're done with this, we're going to spend about 30 minutes doing a live hypnosis session where we are going to use outer states of mind to meet Lucifer, right? Which I've already talked about earlier in this live stream. Maybe you can go back and listen to it. Of course, Cypher X Black Magick is not bad. Um, what was it? Oh yeah, so in that session, we're going to use guided meditation and my knowledge as a hypnotist that I have been practicing for the last 20 years without flexing too much. I have a whole telephone book full of credentials to show. Pink walls. You can ask Lucifer for anything, but just be more respectful. The meditation work that's on your channel, yes. Okay, so what else is on? Oh, basically, go back to what I was saying about enlightenment, right? So Lucifer is Lucifer becomes the symbol of enlightenment, which means rational thought. And I think this is why Lucifer got this evil name, right? Because in order to have rational thoughts and think scientifically and think based on reason and evidence, one have to abandon theology, right? So yes, in a way, enlightenment is the antithesis of theology. Like you cannot believe in the church and Lucifer at the same time, because Lucifer wants you to think for yourself. Lucifer wants you to acquire knowledge, real knowledge, right? Through experimentation, through um, scholarly pursuit, through um, reasoning and rational thinking, right? Whereas in theology, everything is quote unquote come from God, but it's dictated by the church, right? Remember, there was a time when people who believe that the center of the world um, was Earth, right? And anybody who say that the planet revolve around the sun um, are evil, and they were burned on a stake, right? So, all right. So, any like questions so far? So, I think we're going over time here. What have you asked for Lucifer? Well, that's a good question, wifey. Yeah, separate ways work. Why else would I put it on? Um, so that's a good question. But like at the level I work with Lucifer, it has already became a part of my practice. It's more like Lucifer was asking me to do things for him, and when I complete them, he will reward me. That kind of relationship. Um, I mean, we all ask pretty like after a while. I find that I have been asking for the same thing to all spirit at all times, right? So that's not really like the beginners. Like this is how I phase out of my beginner's phase, um, which is asking for sex and money. Like everybody asks for sex and money um, in the beginning, or maybe health, or doing well for the family or whatnot. Um, But after that, it becomes an interesting cultivation of relationship. You get what I'm saying, wifey? That you do things for them, and they reward you with things that are beyond your imagination, and that opens up um, a realm that is beyond what I could imagine, right? Both in the astral world and in physical world, right? And through this relationship, I grow, and that becomes a lot more interesting than just me asking for things from these spirits. Um, the Jana said, I tried to summon Lucifer with mirror white candle sigil. After that, I dreamed that I had need to open door while summoning Lucifer. That is respectful. And yes, that's good. You do it a day at a time, right? Sometimes, remember, we live in this Amazon now culture right now, and we order things and we need it like immediately. Like you look up an information you need, it comes to you immediately. Um, a lot of my clients do that. Like they make a wish, and then 2 hours later they expect that to happen, right? Like without even doing some basic things. Like I have a client that says he wants to travel, and then like after a day after or 2 days after the ritual, he said, "I'm not traveling." And I'm like, "Did you buy the plane ticket, man?" Like, like that level of immediacy, right? And that's just not how um, the world works, and this is not how astral world work, right? Like gone where did this, like even in scholarly or martial art pursuit, right? Like there are there are dojos, right? Those are what the karate schools that promise you a black belt in 9 months, right? Like whereas in the past, it's like a lifelong journey to get that. Or there are piano school that guarantees you to have like the eighth level of world conservatory certification after like 6 months or whatnot. There are. I mean, yeah, you can do that, but that's not how it works. I think like we are also bombarded by this Reddit or or internet forum where people were just bragging that oh, they did this ritual and next day this happened. Like most of them are just BS, right? So don't fall for them. So the Jenna, you're doing good. Take it one day at a time. Sometimes spirits could be very heavy, and you just have to. So one technique you want to do when the energy become too heavy is just pull the energy through you, right? Don't resist, don't block the spirit, right? That's the last thing you want to do, is to resist them. If your heart is beating faster, if you feel fearful, that's fine. That's because you are confronting an infinite amount of power. You want to pull that power into you. So maybe like more in more actual sense, right? So hold up your hands, hold up your palms, right? You want to, in a way, pull in that energy from your left palm, right? Pull that energy through your entire body. Don't be afraid of it. And then just push it out on your right side. Okay. And then you'll create this kind of like energy vortex if you keep doing it for like 15 minutes or so. And then you'll find that you'll be in the same vibration of that spirit. And then you'll find that all your fears are gone. Right. Um, how to summon those? I think you did good. There are also books you can try. I'm just thinking, like today we don't have enough time to just go through the entire summoning process. Maybe I should like, write a book or do a different live stream on how to summon. Oh, and before, I actually have a live stream before on summoning spirits. Maybe you can like go back and take a look at it. Um, Wavy said, "Would Lucifer feel annoying by calling him by sigil? How many people call them by that?" I mean, yeah, no, sigils are fine. It's like the calling card. Sigil, you know what sigil is, right? Sigil is that like symbol that you get. Um, when you look up Lucifer sigil, you get this like sign. Um, like yeah, I just print that out or you draw it out yourself, and that's in a way that's his calling card. Or you can just call Lucifer by his name. I think that is the best way to calling him. How many? A lot of people call him by that, but that's fine, right? That's like his public number. And when you reach in a higher level, some of these spirit will give you their own special sigil to call them by. But yeah, you should definitely draw out his spirits, draw out his sigil, and put it on the altar if that is the spirit that you want to summon or call upon. Quasi said, "You got to grow. How can I summon Lucifer?" We have been talking about that, man. The brain waves. I was 13 seconds back. Okay. No, I just told you the brain waves work. Just do a lot of practice. All right, so we are. Oh wow, we burned the clock pretty good. We are 1 hour in. So I've written some notes here. Maybe I should just write that down in a book and I can send it to you guys. Like I have a lot of book ideas, but I'm just like very short on attention span. Like I keep trying to write a book, but then after half an hour staring at blank page, I do something more dopamine inducing. But yeah, before I completely exhausted in talking. Okay, so any more questions about Lucifer? Tiny is that need to practice more. Yes, I mean it sounded too simple, but it's just that um, like if you practice to a certain level, I will know by the kind of questions you ask, right? I mean, it's like in martial arts, if you couldn't crack a wooden block the first day, I'll be asking, have you been doing your push-ups and whatnot, right? FGFG said, yes, I agree with you, Tanya. Yes, that's great. So Tanya and FGFG, do you guys have any questions before we do the hypnosis parts? Also, if you're just joining us, so the hypnosis part, the plan is I'm going to isolate that part and put it on YouTube or put it on sale in Etsy or include that as part of a book I sell on Amazon, right? So this is all going to get cleaned up, and we're going to have a better version of this on. Is Lucifer with you now? Yes, he is. I mean, we have been summoning him so far. Like Jesus once said, when three people gather together and speak my name, I'll be there. So yeah, so we have been summoning Lucifer pretty good. Every time you say a spirit's name, you got kind of summoning him. So be careful when you just use a spirit's name. FGFG, you will know that I'm very careful to use the spirit's name, right? Like in our conversation, I would just say the spirit would say that. Very rarely would I mention the spirit's name. That's because if I mention the spirit's name, I'm kind of like calling him, and spirits hate it that when you call them for like no reason. Have everybody watched Dragon Ball here? Wifey, have you watched Dragon Ball? Wavy, have you watched Dragon Ball? So my point is, it's like that summoning scene in Dragon Ball when you gather all 7 Dragon Balls. Okay, your homework, Wavy, is to watch the entire Dragon Ball series, the early parts, not the Dragon Ball Z when Goku was just a child. So this is your homework. Go watch the entire series of Dragon Ball or read the comic books. You're in Hong Kong, right? Like there's no excuse to not read Dragon Ball. Just the comic series would do. If you don't buy it, just go to a comic book store and read it. Okay, that's your homework. Tanya said, Dragon Ball. Yes. Okay, so Tanya, you may understand what I'm saying. Like when you summon the dragon, Just read it. That's your homework. Okay. Why? That's your assigned reading. It's like Grimorium, Verum, or archetype. That's your assigned reading. So when you summon the dragon to make a wish, like you don't literally like don't know what you want to ask or okay, we got kicked off on Instagram, so we're back on. Okay, so we're back on Instagram. So sorry, we got kicked out for a bit. Okay, well, oh yeah. So when you summon the dragon, you have to be firm about what you have to say. Like the dragon, the Shin Long, right? The dragon is very short tempered. Like you don't want to just hang out with the dragon. You only have like this one opportunity to speak to the dragon. Think of like this is why I recommend reading Dragon Ball because like so much of Black Magick was involved in the story. Like I tell you, that author of Dragon Ball is a black magician, and a lot of black magic concept was ingrained in the storyline of Dragon Ball. So like when you summon the dragon, you don't just summon him to hang out. Like you only have a brief time, and you have to be very firm and very precise in what you want. And the dragon is going to look at you and see if you're worthy, and then he's going to grant you whatever that you're thinking, right? So yeah, so a lot of people would just summon spirit just to hang out. That's not cool. Um, hey, Dark Jesus, I think I know you, right? Like you are, you brought lipstick from me, right? I'm just thinking if that is the same person I'm talking about. Ashley, hey, all right. So I didn't want to dox your name, but since you said it, hey, Ashley. So FGFG said, I use spirit name when I need help, immediate protection. Yes, that's great. That's a good use of spirit name. Like you are using it seriously, right? You're not just, throwing it around. So I listen to the brainwaves, yes. Um, so Ashley, how are you doing? We're talking about Lucifer and summoning and things like that. FGFG said, looks like we are so alike. I know, yes. So, Ashley, if you have any questions about Lucifer or Black Magic, feel free to ask. In a moment, we're going to start the hypnosis session on meeting Lucifer. I think like this is like the key reason I do this live stream is to motivate myself to record a hypnosis session that I can publish on a later date. That's great, FGFG, says Tanya. Quasi free access, so ask for it for what it is that you want. Yes. I mean, be decisive. A lot of people would summon a spirit and then don't know what they want. That's like, you don't want to waste a spirit's time. Like one of the things that spirit hates is people that couldn't make up their mind or just wishy-washy. That's the word I'm looking for. Don't do that. Like you rather like wish something evil than to be wishy-washy, right? Like that's the one thing that annoys the spirits. Like they could like these days we think spirits are teddy bears. They are not. They can like mess you up bad if they find you annoying. And they don't care who you are. They don't care if you're a billionaire. They don't care if you're the president of like particular country. If they find you annoying, if they don't like you, they can mess you up, right? So if you can walk away with one thing from this talk, is don't be wishy-washy if you are summoning a spirit. That's awesome. He has been showing up a lot lately. That's great, actually. Um, Darkness said, Dark Kisses said, family has changed about me, but the spirit have been warning me about before it happens. Yeah, I mean, um, if I have time later, I can like pull up a chart for you, actually. And then it just sounds like you are going through a planetary transit, and a lot of things that worked in the past will no longer work. Um, So I guess like that just means, you know, changes are upon you, and you have to redefine a lot of relationships in your life, right? Um, Kwasi, this is like the 15th time you asked that question. Um, Family have changed upon me, but the spirit have been, yes. So you yourself need to change too, you know. Sorry, I don't mean to be mean, but like, you know, you are embodiment of what been talking about, like wishy-washy, and you just keep repeating the same thing, you know. Teddy bear, oh no, they require respect, yes. FGFG, you have a very close connection with them, yes. All right, so thank you for joining us, Ashley. So any other questions about like working with spirits and things like that? So this is a good question. Um, like I learned in the past, like a teacher once said that about himself, that for somebody who is very experienced in doing certain things, they forgot what it is like to be the beginner, right? Um, so these are good questions. These are all legit questions. Um, these are the questions that, you know, everybody starting would have asked. Uh, sometimes I just forgot what it was like to be the beginner, you know. And since then I've experienced so much that I feel like I've earned where I am. Whereas sometimes I hear beginner that got frustrated because they spend one night doing doing a partial ritual, and they don't get the results that that they see on Reddit, or they call a spirit and they don't see them manifest to them in flesh and blood. They got frustrated, right? You get what I'm saying? Wavy said, "Is there any messages Lucifer want us to know?" Well, pretty much what I've been talking to. Maybe he just wants you to learn the basics. You know, Wavy, learn the basics and practice a lot. Um, yeah, he said if you want to connect with him, if you want to see him, you have to do the work. Yes, dark kisses, teddy bear. No, they require respect always. FGFG, you have very close connection with them. Yes, he does. Quasi free access, you have experience communicating with the spirit. What is the work? Yes, of course. Yes, I have many experience communicating with the spirits. What is the work? That is like ritual practice, walking the path. Um, you know, yeah, that's the work. A lot of people feel entitled and forget the respect for spirits. Those spirits don't do lazy. Yes, that's correct. And yeah, and actually, you have made a great point. Like a lot of my clients are just too lazy. Like, of course, you know, them being my paid clients, I can't say they're lazy, but they are. Like they expect the spirit to just put everything they want neatly in a package and throw it in their bed. You know, it's kind of like Amazon delivery, you know, or like ordering a pizza. And they don't do the kind of work they need to A, fulfill their wish, or B, um, get closer to the spirits. Like the rituals are there, like, but they don't practice. Like, what can I do, right? A lot of times, and I guess like this only happens to me because I keep talking to my clients like they are my friends. And a lot of times I tell them like, you have to do this particular thing, and it's not an occult thing, right? Like if they want to make money, they have to like study on how to incorporate and things like that, or go to the bank and at least get like a business account, or or a certain business idea doesn't work, you can't just wish your way out of it, you know. Like a lot of things that they need to be doing, they are not doing. And in response for not them not doing things. They just went to buy more things, and then they feel bigger, and then they blame me for it. So you get what I'm saying, actually. Yeah. So good point about the spirit don't do lazy. Like you have to work your ass off in order to meet them. Like for example, a lot of people talk about um, getting spirit to teach them things. Yes, they will. If you ask them to teach you things, they will teach you things. But that is after you have exhausted all possible learning pathway. Like if you want to learn chemistry, you have to go to the library and read all the books and do all the exercise and take all the classes. Now the spirit is going to help you on this path, right? Like the spirit will guide you in the library to read a particular book, and you'll find a certain passage more interesting to you, and the spirit is going to guide you if you let them to a different book, different places. Or maybe it's not chemistry that you want, maybe your answers is in physics, or maybe your answers is in art, right? The spirit is going to guide you, but you have to work your ass off. And in my experience, the spirit will come put things together after you have exhausted all possible work, right? You get what I'm saying? Like you have to read all the books on the topic, like at the PhD level. You don't have to get the degree, but you have to like push yourself to that level of knowledge. You have to read all the books, study all the articles, talk to all the people, and do all the exercise. And then the spirit will come forward and put it together for you. And then you will think maybe then you will make a discovery, right? Oh, maybe if I do this experiment, I will discover this particular molecule and win the Nobel Prize, right? This is the proper way to work with spirits. You don't just write the petition and say, I want to win the Nobel Prize, and then wait for 2 weeks and then nothing happens and you complain. This is how most people do occult, and this is not how it works. Dejana said, I'm interested in that to know, have you the ability to read somebody's mind? Do you know what I'm thinking? You can, yes, but not the way you are thinking. Like I know what you're thinking. It's not what you're thinking. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like you can like directly pull a image out of the mind. Sometimes you do, but like it will be like a lot of clues that you have to put them together. If you want to have astral sense, you have to think in astral sense. Astral sense is not particular visuals. Like you have to think beyond your five senses in order to have astral sense. It's a complete thing, completely different thing. Like you can describe one sense with another, right? Like I can describe what I see by what I hear, Like I went to this lake before, and the surface of the lake is beautiful and it looks quiet. So like if I say it looks quiet, that is using another sense to substitute this sense, right? So like when I can describe what Lucifer looked like, I can describe what Hanael looked like. But that is a visual interpretation of my astral sense. It's not the actual astral sense. You get what I'm saying? Yes, quasi-free access. You have to put in the work. Go within, yes. Ashley says, it's honestly like an employer. They hire you and you represent them. Yes, in a way, yes. But it's more like a more free. But always acknowledge that who you are and who they are, Sometimes I see occultists become too friendly with the spirits. It's kind of like I have a professor back in college, a business professor. Like he whenever we call him professor, let's say I don't want to out him. Let's say Professor Studio, right? Like Professor Stud. Let's call him Professor Stud. His name is Mike Stud. And every time we call him Professor Stud, he will say, oh, please call me Michael. But nobody ever fucking call him Michael, right? Because knowing who he is and knowing who we are. Like he is like a big shot business professor that, his talk that people pay him like hundreds of thousands of dollars to have a talk. But yeah, so but in a way, you want to meet him in a one-to-one basis, but you're not one-to-one basis with them, right? Like you want to partner up with them. It's kind of like partnering up with Bill Gates, right? Or Elon Musk. Let's say, they invest, you know, $500,000 into your company, and in the return, they have like 50% stake in your company. So in a way, you're partnering up with them, but in a way, they are not your level. So yeah, so good point. Um, it's kind of like an employer that they hire you and you represent them, and you get reward from representing them properly. So quite C2X that go within. So good. All right. So any more questions? So wifey, are you still there? Wifey. Ashley asks, is the meditation with Lucifer? Yes. So today's Black Magick um, meditation and self hypnosis is to connect you with Lucifer and receive his blessing. So it is like doing a ritual. So, like I said before, uh, a ritual is so you can enter an outer state of mind. Uh, one of the function of a ritual that is to enter outer state of mind, to connect with the energy of the spirit and to push your soul into um, that aspect of astral space. So in a way, we're substituting lighting a candle and incantation and things like that with a hypnosis session. But you still have to do the ritual. So like this is one more thing to help you um, on your path to become a good black magician. So I would advise you still do the outer. I gave you, well, I didn't give you, you purchased. But part of your lipstick package, there's a lipstick for Lucifer in your package, right? So maybe putting that on and draw you closer to him. So in a good way that the occult or black magic is so much fun is there's no one way of doing it, and all the black magicians, the top ones, the good ones, the practicing ones, are always looking for ways to practice better black magic. Like maybe we are experimenting different tools. Some, maybe do what we do. We use brain waves in my channel to get closer to the spirits, or different kinds of um, offerings on the altar, or I would do different tasks to be closer to the spirits, and I'm always learning from others, and I put it out there so others can learn from me. So yeah, so there are always small ways to connect with these spirits and to summon these spirits. So Quasi said, so put in the work and work your ass off. Yes. Is it for the week or no? Like, what do you mean for the week? I mean, there are a lot of poor people. There are a lot of poor people would summon a spirit. Or if you are, you could be physically weak and still summon a spirit. You can be physically strong but mentally corrupt. So, like, if you're not ready, I would not recommend it. But you can always set up an altar and put some offerings on the altar. They will appreciate it. So I guess maybe it's just the way you talk, Quasi. Um, so particularly for Lucifer, Lucifer is more like for somebody who is already strong, already powerful, and seeking more power. But I don't think anybody ever would identify themselves with being weak, right? Like even the weakest people would never say they're weak, right? So it's kind of like a circular non-question. But I guess I get what you mean, right, Quasi? I think maybe it's just the way you use the language. Um, Ashley said, "Oh no, not the weak. They don't do lazy or wishy-washy. Yes, they want you to be direct and focused and intentional. Show up fully with respect. Yes. So maybe actually that's the better way of putting it. There are a lot of strong people that are lazy, right? There are also a lot of rich people that are wishy-washy. But more specifically, um, let's say you wish to become a doctor. You better put in the work to study, or else they're going to abandon you. Or so like wishy-washy, like I said before, don't make the spirit decide things for you. You have to decide. They may not grant what you wish for, but you have to be decisive. All right, so an hour and 26 minutes in here. We can so let's give 2 more minutes for questions to come in, and then we will start the hypnosis session, which is going to take about 30 minutes or 45 minutes. During which time, excuse me, I won't be able to read any questions if I am in the middle of. So I keep getting kicked out of Instagram. All right, so we're back on Instagram, but we don't have a lot of participation on Instagram, anyways. So during the actually, you know the drill. Whomever is still left here knows the drill, how we do things. So during the next half hour, 45 minutes or so, um, I'll be doing the hypnosis. I won't be able to see the questions asked. So you can still ask it or say what you have to say, and then I'll come back and read it off after the session. Ashley said, they answer fast. Hecate has removed a lot of family members that weren't sincere. I promise you, better means what you say and changing your mind. These spirits look up for you. Yes, that's true. I mean, so Quasi made a point earlier that about being ready. Like a lot of people ask, how fast would the wish fulfilled? Well, are you ready for it? Like, if you want to be a heart surgeon and you're failing high school, or for whatever reason, you just failed out of junior college. Well, are you ready for it? Are you studying for it? Are you planning the path for it? How willing are you willing to walk a different path to get what you want, right? Like I have a friend who couldn't get into medical school in the US, and she went to one of the medical school in the Caribbean, and she became a vegetarian. And then she come back to the US, and she's making very good money right now doing a job she wants, right? So they look out for your best interests even if you forgive. Yes. I think like I don't want to put this too far out there that the spirits are quite forgiving. Um, unless you purposely piss them off, right? Like unless you go out and I don't want to say this because I don't want to out somebody. Let's say, you know, your wish didn't fulfill and then you trash the outer, or you're being annoying and say, why aren't my wish fulfilled? Why aren't my wish fulfilled? Why didn't so I may be outing somebody, but I don't care. But like this girl when I started, um, so back I still have this on my Etsy site, right? But like before, I have this product called Ask Satan a Question, and then this lady asked the question, it's like, why haven't I won the lottery, Satan? I have given you so much, and I'm like, dude, I am not, I am not asking this question for you. I am not, I'm not channeling this fucking message for you. Okay, like, what do you think this is? So like, her point was like, she has been, I don't know what she does. Like maybe she put some candy on the altar and she had done some stupid ritual and she haven't won the lottery. And then she was like quite begrudgingly asking Satan, why haven't you grant me the lottery win? So like, no. So that is an example of like deep disrespect and pissing the spirits off purposely. So in those cases, you will find it harder and harder to get the attention of that spirit and all the spirits. Like if you piss one spirit off, you're pissing all the spirits off. You can walk away with this. Like if anything, you want to get out of this 1.5 hour talk that I'm giving is if you piss off one spirit, you're pissing off the entire spirit world. Like every spirit talk to every spirit. And if you mess up your relationship with one spirit, everybody sees it. So don't do it. Always be respectful. Quasi said, what if you are a streamer? What do you mean? Um, Ashley said, I mean, if you forgive people not for your high good, they'll still remove those folks. If you forgive people not for, okay, you may have to expand on that statement a bit. Thank you, Dejana. Thank you for the nice compliment. Quasi said, I'm not disrespectful. Like, will he help advance in anything? Yes. Sometimes you just, I'm not singling you out, Quasi. Sometimes people don't know that they're being disrespectful, They think they are ordering a pizza, and if the pepperoni doesn't taste right, they send it back or whatnot, But, this is why you come to this podcast. And if you go back, if you're just starting off, Quasi, go back and listen to all the live stream and podcast I've given here. Ashley knows, and FGFG and Tanya, and you guys have been with me since the beginning, and I give a lot of tips and things you won't find in books. And Quasi, you should know, like I'm not flexing anything, but I'm very experienced in this. I've been doing this for many years, and I do it for a lot of people, and I have good results. So yeah, so I can tell you're just beginning. So go back to listen to all my podcasts, and start reading, right? Like read the actual books, not just internet forums or whatnot. You're doing okay. You're doing okay. Ashley says, say you are not ready to fully let go of people, but you ask Lucifer or Lilith or any spirits, they will remove them from your life and you can go back. And you go back, it's a punishment for you. Oh no, they remove people all the time. Sometimes they remove the influence and then you don't even know, right? Like you could have an uncle that you hate and they may not like physically kill him or throw him off the cliff, but like You can still see him in Thanksgiving, but like they stop being annoying. They may not be nice to you, but like their annoyance in your life is effectively gone. You get what I'm saying? Yes, Dion, you have told many tips over. Oh, thanks, FGFG. Oh, is that what you're saying? Okay, so I kind of like misunderstood your point. So you're saying that, let's say you have you have like abusive boyfriend or something, and then you ask Lucifer to like, get rid of him, who has been stalking you or whatnot, and then you go back to that abusive boyfriend. Yeah, that would be an example of being disrespectful and being stupid. So yeah, if you keep doing that, they will kind of stop helping you. Like they'll still, I think, like in a way they give you some chances, but like after a while, you are not helping yourself. So it actually costs them a lot of energy. So if you're just starting, Wavy, if you're still here, think of the world not as physical things, but as in energy and cost. It actually costs them a lot of energy to help you. This is why you put offerings on the altar. That is a form of energy that you give the spirits, and they take their energy to help you. So yeah, so they actually cost of a lot of energy to help you. And if you're just going to waste their energy, they're not going to help you anymore. So yeah, so that's a good point, actually. Thanks for clarifying it. Tanya said, I think the tips you're sharing tonight are very helpful. Oh, thank you, Tanya. And thank you, Tanya and FGFG. You guys have been here since day one, and I appreciate it. If you guys are not here, I'll just be talking to myself. Um, Quasi says, okay, I want transformation, but I have to put in the work. Yes, you're getting it, Quasi. You're starting more and more to resonate with this group. All right. So good for you. I'm actually good point, Quasi. I'm seeing some transformation in you right now. Um, Ashley said, and Dion is one of the best people to learn from and buy from. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Ashley. And Ashley, I thought, oh, cool, lipstick is so much more than lipstick. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for the testimonial. Dion, the energy is felt in his work. Yes, thank you. And FGFG said, thank you, Dion. Thank you, FGFG. All right. So, okay, so we're doing pretty good in terms of killing time in live stream. We get something hot to drink, and then we will do the hypnosis session. I know it's getting pretty late in Hong Kong too, right? It's like after midnight. So, you guys need to sleep. But it's good. Like I see some live streamer that stream for like 10 hours straight. I may never reach that level. But maybe in the future, like right now my accommodation is very small. But maybe in the future I buy a house in the farm or something. And then we can have a large studio and I can live stream my rituals. But one day at a time. Well, in a way, I'm kind of live streaming a ritual of hypnosis, right? Okay, so I'll give you 2 more minutes to ask questions, and then we'll shift to hypnosis mode. All right. Any questions? Okay, Quasi said, in order for Lucifer to give you what you want, do you have to follow what he asks and does? Well, yes. So you may want to look up this concept quasi. It's called walking the path. So you kind of have to become an embodiment. I won't say embodiment, right? But you kind of have to like walk the path of Lucifer, follow his teaching, and in a way, be useful. Like this is a higher concept. Okay, to start, do what I told Wifey before. Just set up an altar with the sigil of Lucifer and put some offerings on it, such as food and valuables. Keep that altar going with candles and incense. If you live with people, maybe you can like do what I call a jar altar. You can put all your petition, and write your petition in a piece of paper and put it on the altar. So keep it simple. This is what you have to do. And if you're living with other people, then put all the papers and all the offerings in like a jar, like a metal jar with a metal seal. And whenever you are alone in the house and you're not bothered, you can like light a candle on top of the jar. So for beginner, that's what you do. And you look for elements of the wish fulfilling. And it is the intention of the wish that comes true, not the word of the wish that comes true. Let's say you want a Ferrari, and the point of Ferrari is so you can like look good. You can impress a girl, let's put it that way. You may not manifest a Ferrari, but you may manifest ways to impress that girl. Maybe she's not into material things at all. Lucifer may guide you. So this is why we keep talking about clear in intention. But if you were to wish for Ferrari, a lot of Ferrari things will start showing up in your life. It's kind of fun that way. You may find, Ferrari videos and people named Ferrari, and you see red cars and things showing up in your life. So that is like a interesting and fun part of occultism and law of attraction. Can it be any candle? Yes. Now, I know what you mean, in witchcraft. So this is not witchcraft, okay? This is black magic. In witchcraft, there are like different colors of candles made of different things. I'm telling you, you don't need to sweat that. The candle is to give energy, light, and warmth. So it's a form of energy offering. Remember, in the old days, candles are actually very expensive. Like we can produce wax in by factory mass productions, but in the old days, all the wax are made from natural sources, and they are very expensive. They are actually people that goes around to collect used wax. They will buy old wax, like when you burn a candle, it just melt down into puddle, right? And then people will go around and buy the melted wax, weight it, and then they will bring it to their home and then remelt it and create like a second-hand candle and then resell it. There actually a lot of people got rich that way. So yeah, so candles is an offering. Lighting the candle is an offering. Ashley said, "This is not the movies working with spirits. It's not what Hollywood thinks." Yes, it's true. Well, the major difference is that in the movie, everything needs to happen in like 90 minutes, right? And the actual magic and the manifestation thereof happens quite immediately. And they need to be drastic and dramatic, or else somebody will watch the movie, right? But sometimes, over the years, you'll find that things happens in such a coincidence that you have to believe some kind of spiritual interference. And a lot of times when your wish is manifesting, you don't see it manifesting until it is completely manifested, right? It also takes steps to manifest, right? Like you don't just become a PhD right out of high school, right? Unless you are like Stephen Hawking. Like it may take you through junior college. You may fail some classes, and oh, we will start in a minute, Pink Walls. Um, and what was I saying? So you may fail a course here and there. You may get kicked out of your undergrad. You may have some family issues, and then later on, you go back to your master's. And then, finally, in 10 years, you got a PhD and you're teaching at like Dartmouth or something. And then you look back and say, oh, wow, everything I wish for that fateful night all come true. But throughout these years, when it was manifesting through thickness and thin, you don't see it as happening, right? So you kind of have to be faithful that the spirits are with you and opening a path for you, right? Quasi said, what if I don't have anything to alter? Can it be other than food? Yes. Can it be incense? Yes. The final problem of incense is it smells, right? Like you don't want, unless, I don't know what your living situation is, but your roommates or neighbors may complain if you burn too many incense. Candles too, some of the bad candles really smells and produce smokes. Yeah, as a professional, quote unquote, I burn so many incense and candles that my respiratory system is feeling it. Like sometimes my nose hurts when I breathe, like I get a tension headache. So, but that's like a problem later on in your career. Ashley said the spirits are understanding with circumstances and our personal lives. So you can just speak to them, offer them music or what you can. Yes, offer them whatever you can. Like we call it like a kitchen sink magic. Sometimes a lot of these magics, quote unquote magic and rituals that you find in Grimoire and things like that are pretty much people doing what they have, whatever they can, and then some of them are written down. Like there's no magical process of how a lot of these quote unquote spells and rituals come from. It's just like people are doing whatever they can at the time and then wrote it down. So yeah, so good point, Ashley. So you offer them whatever you can, um, but knowing that the entire ancient world, the entire history of human civilization up to this point, it's about what you offer the spirits. Like they build temples, they put gold and incense or whatnot. Even churches or whatnot are offerings, right? So we can do a whole live stream, and you can write a whole thesis and write your whole scholarly and academic career on what people offer the spirits. And it's kind of fun. Like we can talk Paul about this later. I'm actually getting tired before the hypnosis even start. But you can experiment with different kind of offerings. Um, maybe you can always put a candy on it, right? Or different jewelries. You can buy some stuff on a Temu, things that you find at Walmart, a dollar store to start, and you can draw some correlations on what works and what not. Or maybe if you offer a candy, everything that I put on my altar, I usually get back 5 to 10 times more. Liquor, wine, chocolate, flowers. Yes. And you'll see that the things that you put on your altar are in some ways, yes, money. Yes, that's the secret. Actually, that is like put cash on your altar. You'll get it back if you're smart enough to notice it, right? Like if you put $10 on your altar, you may not exactly get $50 back, but you have to observe your life very carefully. You may find that you buy something that is a lot cheaper than you would normally pay, or your money will go a lot further. You'll find that you have $10 in your pocket, and then your friends may buy you a burger, and then you went out, and then you got in the bus for free, and then your friends pay for your Uber, and you find that after a night out you still have that $10 in your pocket. A lot of us have that experience, right? So you need to be very smart in noticing these things, and the more you notice these things, the more the spirits will bring you back. Let's put it that way. Like when a spirit notice that you notice them, you'll get more. You can also put like pictures of things you want. It may not be, sometimes it's very funny in a way that it manifests. Like maybe you put like a picture of a house there. You may not, years from now, you may not get that exact same house, but it would look the same, or the elements of the house that are the same. Or if you like a girl or guy, you put a picture of them on your altar. And you may not get the exact guy or girl, but you find that, maybe the next 5, or maybe like in a year, you'll be dating a girl with the same name or same facial features, or maybe you like her because she's a gamer or something, for example, like she has a certain hobby. You may find that you're dating a girl that has the same hobby, that you wish for. So it's part of your astral sense is how you notice these things. All right, any more questions before we start? It's good that I'm a little bit tired now, because if I'm like all gung-ho and have a lot of energy, I'll be reading this too fast. Since working with Lucifer, I have been able to move, buy any perfume I want, and found a great guy. And this one, not the one I originally want back, but he was bad news and they leveled up every area. That's true. So actually, it's the physical manifestation of a wish fulfilled. And it's true, like the spirits, if they want something to put on the altar, they'll find a way to help you get it. Like, I don't want to say money is not an issue, because obviously we are economics being. But if you want to work with a certain spirit, don't be cheap on your offerings. A, they will find a way for you to get it, and B, once you get it, they'll find a way to reward you for putting it on the altar. So yeah, it's kind of like what Ashley said, buy any perfume she wants. All right, so we are going to start the hypnosis session now. Let me press record. Hello, testing. Okay. All right, this is the hypnosis session for meeting Lucifer. I want you to take a long, slow breath in. And as you exhale fully, allow every part of you to begin softening and melting, and open yourself up to travel into the astral space. I want you to trust my voice. I want you to trust my voice. Let every word I speak settle down deep inside you. Now I want you to feel my voice gently caressing and wrapping around every thought you have and every breath you take. Feel your feet grow heavy and warm, and a warm heat spreading throughout your toes, your arches, and now your heels. And as you feel this warmth, just feel that part of your body melting into the renaissance, into the energy around you, and becoming this vibration and energy. And feel yourself relaxing completely. Feel my voice there, touching you. Every part of the body part that I mentioned. My touch is there, soft and lingering, sending the first tingle of pleasure throughout your ankles, and your calves softens. Feel your knees releasing the tension, and your thighs grow very heavy and open. And feel the warm waves of my energy pushing through you, pushing out any tightness, leaving only a deep, satisfying glow that makes you melt in pleasure. And feel your hips begin to melt and your lower back loosen. A warm pool of energy in your pelvis. And feel this organic energy deep inside, creating a gentle vibration that connects you to your higher self. Your stomach and chest relax completely, breathing slow and full. Feel this energy mixing with yours, filling with love as you feel your ribs expand and soften. Feel your shoulders drop, heavy. Your arms grow limp and warm. And feel your hands tingling beautifully. And feel this touch soothing and sending blissful waves through every fingers. As your neck relaxes, every muscle's letting go, every muscle's letting go. As your jaw softens, your lips may part slightly. Your lips may part slightly, and your tongue grows heavy and still. Your face melts into complete ease, cheeks, eyes, and forehead. Every tiny muscles in your scalp softening under my loving attention. Now feel a deep sensual massage beginning inside your brain. Warm and satisfying waves of energy moving through every fold, every pathway, massaging all the remaining tension, turning your mind blissful and quiet. A delicious tingle spreading from the center of your mind outwards, taking you deeper, growing stronger with every breath. You are sinking now, drifting deeper and deeper still into the warm velvet embrace of astral space. My voice is inside you, and my energy is inside you, creating a complete, vibrating connections that feels so good, so right. You feel my voice deep, filling every part of you, feeling my voice as it wraps around your heart, your soul, your body. A blissful tingles moves throughout your entire being. And feel this energy everywhere now, gentle and tender, taking you further into this exit, taking you deeper into this relaxation. You are coming into perfect peace, coming into deep, sensual bliss, feeling completely satisfied, whole, and connected to your higher self. You are now flowing freely in astral space, safe, open, and alive. Feel this energy inside you, and together we'll drift toward the sacred and meeting that awaits. Feel the love, feel the bliss, and know that everything beautiful, warm, and transformative is about to unfold for you. And now, with my voice wrapped so warmly around you, I'm going to count down from 10 to 1. With each number, you drift deeper and deeper still into the central layer of trance, and my energy inside you, pulsating, alive, taking you further. 10. Feel my energy inside you growing stronger, a deep warmth spreading through every cell as my touch lingers, creating most blissful tingles that moves through your body like liquid silk. Feel this deep love as you sink. 9. Drifting now, gently and sensually, through the soft folds of time and space, pushing out everything, pushing out everything except this connection. 8. Deeper still, feel the astral current caressing you, warm and inviting, vibrating with love, a complete and luxurious tingle spreading throughout your mind and body. You are coming into even greater bliss, coming into perfect openness. 7. Time and space begin to soften and opens around you. My energy inside you flowing so freely, so deeply, taking you through shimmering veils of light. You love this feeling. 6. Drifting further, deeper, the stars themselves whispering against your skin. A warm, satisfying vibration connecting us completely. 5. Halfway now, sinking so beautifully. You can already sense the sacred meeting drawing near. Lucifer's realm beginning to shimmer at the edge of your awareness, warm, radiant, and inviting. 4. Drifting through time and space. Every breath taking you closer. My touch soothing, caressing. You feel so completely loved and so completely connected, free, deeper, slower, and more open. The astral winds carrying you gently towards the circular chamber of polished and living starlight. The astral winds carrying you gently towards the chamber of starlight. You can almost taste the warm air, scented with fine cologne and sacred perfume, as my voice inside you guiding you with such deep love. 2. Almost there now. The single flame in the center beginning to glow in your awareness. Warm, pure, giving off only clear, blissful light. My energy inside you vibrating with excitement and bliss, taking you right to the threshold. 1. Fully arriving in this exquisite depth, floating in velvet hearts of astral space. The portal to Lucifer's realm wide and welcoming before you. My breath is with you. My touch is upon you. My love surrounds you completely. And the sacred meeting with Light Bearer. And this sacred meeting with Lucifer is ready to unfold. Beautiful, intimate, and deeply transformative. Now, As you relax deeply, I am Dion, your spirit guide. I stand beside you now with long flowing hair and gentle wisdom shining through my glasses. I take your hand softly in mine, warm and steady, and together we walk through the shimmering veil of astral space. With a calm gesture, I open the astral portal to Lucifer's. I open the astral portal to Lucifer's. I open with a warm gesture. I open the astral portal to Lucifer's realm. Before us appears a majestic circular chamber of polished living starlight, its walls pulsating gently with infinite depth. The air is warm and inviting, scented with fine cologne and sacred perfume. At the center burns a single flame that gives off no heat, only pure and clear light. You step inside the circle and closes behind you, sealing the space in perfect protection. I, Dion, remains by your side, still holding your hand with reassuring presence. Hand in hand with me, Dion, you feel completely safe as the living starlight around you begin to shimmer and brightens. From the heart of this flame steps a tall, regal figure of divine presence, Lucifer, the light bringer, is breathtakingly beautiful, the most beautiful face ever created. With features of a perfect symmetry and ethereal grace that seems to capture the first light of dawn itself. Lucifer stands, godlike in a stature, tall and powerfully built, yet gentle, and clearly defined muscles beneath flowing robes, shifting, shifting silver, gold, and the deepest indigo light that moves as though woven from living stars. His manner is of that of a high lord, polite and refined, yet firm with unshakable authority. Lucifer is approachable in his warmth while radiating unmistakable divine power. His eyes hold the steady, radiant glow of the morning star, filled with infinite clarity and creative fire. Lucifer's Lucifer stands before you with calm and attentive grace. You may speak to him silently or with your inner voice, asking for whatever you wish to know. Listen deeply as he answers not with commands, but with questions that unlocks your own knowing. I, Dion, gently squeeze your hand, reminding you that you're always guided and protected in this sacred encounter. Lucifer, Lucifer stands before you with calm and attentive grace. You may speak to him silently or with your inner voice, asking whatever you wish to know. Now take a deep, unhurried moment to allow your subconscious mind to form and silently unhurried moment to allow your subconscious mind to form and ask his questions. Feeling I, Dion's steady hand in yours as you do so. Listen deeply as Lucifer's answers, not with commands, but in language you may understand right now, or through vivid pictures that paint themselves across your inner vision, subtle audio renaissance, and whispers that drift through the starlight. With rich kinesthetic sensation of warm electric flow, or gentle pleasure, or tingling clarity that moves through your body. Through code and sensory gift, your unconscious mind will beautifully decipher and integrate at the perfect time for you. When you're ready, Lucifer extends his hands and offers a sphere of clear and radiant light. You may choose to receive it, feeling its warm, electric clarity spreading through your heart and mind, dissolving old illusions and awakening your own inner fire of creative will. The light does not overwhelm, it liberates. You remember who you have always been. Dion continues to hold your hand with steady wisdom, allowing the gift to settle comfortably within you. When the moment feels complete, Lucifer smiles with the perfect recognition and steps back into the starlight. As Lucifer gazes upon you with his divine, approachable grace, he raises his hands and bestowed upon you his three greatest blessings, each one flowing as living light into your being. First comes the blessing of the illuminated mind. Rational, evidence-based wisdom floods your thoughts with crystal clarity. Gnosis and deep self-knowledge awakens inside you. With foresight and creative fire, ignites your inner vision, allowing truths to reveal themselves in vivid pictures, resonate inner voices, and subtle waves of understanding that your unconscious mind will decode perfectly at its own time and own pace. Next, the second blessing, the blessing of empowered self. Lucifer is bestowing you the gift of strength and power. And feel strength and power surges through your body as a warm, electric pulse. Vitality and pride and unshakable confidence rooted deeply inside your core, granting you fearlessness, independence, and courage, resilience, fortitude, so that every challenges become a fuel for your sovereign will. Finally, the third blessing, the blessing of radiant presence, envelops you. It is a blessing of beauty and personal charisma. The beauty and magnetic love draw harmonious connections towards you with effortless grace. Charismatic influence radiates from your presence, and the spark of Apotheosis awakens your own divine nature, reminding you that you are the God of your own universe. With each blessings you receive, you feel layers of light integrating gently yet powerfully through every senses. Visual radiance behind your eyes, auditory whispers of affirmation into the starlight, and kinesthetic warmth spreading through your muscles and heart. Dion continues to hold your hand with steady and wisdom, guiding the energies to settle comfortably and permanently within you as a lasting gift from Lucifer, the light bringer. With infinite wisdom in his eyes, Lucifer leans closer and gently blows a single sacred flame directly into the center of your soul. The flame is warm, comforting, never burning hot, a living golden white fire that spreads softly through every layer of your being. As it enters, it invigorates your soul with radiant vitality, awakening dormant potentials and filling you with boundless life force. At the same moment, the pure spirit of Lucifer blends seamlessly into the very fabric of your soul, weaving his light permanently in your own essence, in a bond of perfect union and mutual recognition. From this moment forward, you'll carry Lucifer's fame. From this moment forward, you'll carry Lucifer's flame within you. From this sacred flame, you are reborn as an enlightened one, awakened, sovereign, and radiant with the true light of the morning star. I, Dion, smiles with quiet wisdom, holding your hand with steady warmth, and gently guides you back through the shimmering astral veil toward the earth plane. You return now forever carrying these three great blessings and the living imprint of Lucifer within your heart and soul. The blessing of illuminated mind, the empowered self, and the radiant presence, all glowing quietly yet powerfully inside you, ready to unfold in your daily life with grace and strength. Dion releases your hand with one final reassuring squeeze as you settle fully inside your body, knowing the connections remains open and the flame burns eternally inside you. As Dion, your loving spirit guide, I gently guide you now from the sacred temple back into full, vibrant, waking awareness, carrying every gift and blessings within you. You feel the warm, invigorating energy of Lucifer's flame pulsating steadily inside your soul. With each breath you take, your entire being begins to turning on your ability to receive the abundance of the universe, turning on your psychic ability to receive hidden truths with effortless clarity, turning on your astral senses so the veils between the worlds grow thinner and more accessible. Your spirit is now completely cleansed, with every parasite removed and non negativity banished forever, leaving you light, pure, and radiantly free. You feel deeply energized, inspired, and completely uninhibited, as if every cell in your body is humming with fresh and unstoppable life force. This portal is completely wide open. Your inner power continues to turn on, turning on your charisma so you naturally draw admiration and connections wherever you go, turning on your ability to attract money with magnetic ease and graceful flow, turning on your confidence, creativity, and personal magnetism in every moment of your day. It is now the perfect time to seize the moments fully, to work hard with joyful discipline, to study and expand your knowledge with sharp focus, to improve yourself relentlessly, to work out and exercise with renewed strength and vitality, to eat healthy and nourish your body as the sacred temple it is, and pursue your life to the fullest, embracing every opportunity with bold, enlightened passion. You will remember Leon's voice. You will remember my voice, Leon's voice, in your dream, gentle and clear, guiding you towards love, money, and a healthy body, and a clean spirit, whispering the exact step you need to take each night so you awaken refreshed and aligned. You feel profoundly thankful and appreciative and grateful to the spirits, to Lucifer the light bringer. A wave, a warm wave of quiet joy and body energized, and light, sharp mind, and inspired. You are reborn, sovereign, and ready, and step into your day with power. I now gently guide you back from the sacred temple into the full, vibrant, living, awakening awareness, carrying every gift, blessing, and flame with you. With each number I count, you become more awake, more present, more energized. 1. Turning on your ability to receive all abundance the universe has to offer. 2. Turning on your psychic ability to receive hidden truths with effortless clarity. 3. Turning on your astral senses so the veils between the worlds grows thinner and more accessible every day. 4. Your spirit is now completely cleansed, all parasites removed, all negativity banished forever, leaving you light, pure, and radiantly free. 5. You feel deeply energized, inspired, and completely uninhibited. Every cell in your body humming with fresh, unstoppable life force. 6. Turning on your charisma so you naturally draw admiration, love, and connection wherever you go. 7. Turning on your ability to attract money with magnetic ease and graceful flow. 8. It is now the perfect time to seize the moment. 9. And 10. Wide awake now, feeling great. All right, so we are back in the room, fully awakened. Anybody still here in the room? All right, so let me see. Okay, Kwasi is still here. Ashley said, Lucifer, Hecate, Lilith, Belial, level you up every area of your life, but they tell you when you are not doing the work, that's true. Hey, Dejana, Ashley is still here. Kwasi is still here. Frostbite is still here. Kwasi said, I feel vibrating on my nose to my forehead. That's great. So you're actually feeling it, right? So, yeah, feel free to ask any questions. We're doing pretty good on time. We're burned 2 hours and 23 minutes. Hey, FGFG. So FGFG, Ashley and Dejana, they can tell you that we used to do this every week. But I moved a few times in the last year or so. So, when you're on a habit and you interrupt it, and then the habit doesn't go anymore. Like I try to do this regularly, but we'll see. We used to have dogs next to me, but I think they have moved the dogs, so we are good so far today. No dogs interrupting. I love dogs, but just not when I am doing a hypnosis session. That's great, Kwasi. You can feel the vibration all over you, right? All right, Kwasi, you're a believer now. So yeah, so this is going to be on record. So if you want to access this live stream, you can always come back. I'll be posting this on YouTube. The live stream itself will be on YouTube without any editing. You can always come back and re-experience the hypnosis session. And when I have time and the attention span to edit, I will do so. and then post it on YouTube. So I'm in the process of establishing this as a church. So we'll be needing volunteers. I feel like I'm doing everything all by myself. I'm not saying you guys need to volunteer or not, but I'll be opening up like volunteers to help me with like some of the stuff, like time. If anybody knows how to edit audio, it's not too hard. Just edit out the ahs and homes and my coughs and some of my repeating words. Um, Quasi said, I saw myself growing up and down when my eyes closed. That's great. So Quasi, we have a lot more of these hypnosis sessions already recorded on the live session of my channel. Feel free to look it up anytime. And like I said, I will try to edit more when I can. The channel is not being monetized right now. But even if it is, I only make like $5. So it's not enough to hire people to do the audio. That's what I mean. But it's up here. So if you want to experience this and other hypnosis sessions, it's here. Ashley says, my whole body is vibrating. I was powerful and it was beautiful. Ashley says, I miss you doing it weekly, but life happens. Thank you for this session with Lucifer. Oh, thank you for always being here for me, Ashley. You're always so kind with your kind testimonials. And yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed this session. And of course, like I told Kwasi, you can revisit this anytime you want. Kwasi said you need more than $5. Yeah, I was making a little bit more than that, but then they demonetized my account. Being occultist, they find any way possible to demonetize this. Don't say your age, okay? Don't say it. If you say it, I may have to censor you, so don't say it. It's kind of like buying drinks, Remember when I was in the army, the first weekend out, the lieutenant say, so some of you guys may be going out and having a drink. If you're too young to drink, don't tell me, okay? Okay. So yeah, so don't say anything. I can tell, you are, yeah, well, I'm not going to say it, but like you're with adults here. So learn from us. I need to know Lucifer loves me. You don't need to know, Dejana. You don't need to know. Why do you need to know? When is Azazel getting a session? You want me to do a session of Azazel? Yeah, we can do it. We can do Azazel. We have a lot of Azazel friends on YouTube, though. Well, it's going to be, you either like it or not. A lot of people have preconceived notion of Azazel. But yeah, so we can definitely do Azazel. Quasi said I have power within, but I gonna tap into it. Okay, that's great. I mean, we are not saying anything that is bad. But I don't want to. I want to be able to drop the F word without parents calling me. Asmodee. Yeah, we can do Asmodee. We have already done Asmodee. Go back to I think it was like the last one or the one before we took a break. So turn yourself into a lust demon. Yeah, so like we've done Asmodee. You can go back and look it up. It can be pronounced differently. Like Asmodee was a it just depends on how you pronounce it, and it's from a Near East, so it wasn't in English. It was before English was even invented when Asmodee roamed the world. So he appeared in several Bible stories. He was in the Book of Tobit, but not in the canonized Bible. Um, he was like the opposition of Raphael, and he was also in a bunch of other folk folk stories in the Near East. So he was either archangel, a lust demon, or a din. So he's highly cited. Let's put it that way. So yeah, we've done Asmodee, but if maybe there's an aspect of Asmodee we want to go back and do again. Any other opinions, comments you want to share? Quasi, may I ask where you're from? Are you American? Forbidden. Hey, Forbidden, how are you? Okay, Quasi is from Florida. Okay, that's great. Forbidden. Where in America are you? Ashley, you already know I think they are great, but I will always say Lucifer is amazing. Yes, that's true. Daytona. Oh, nice. Nice. Forbidden said, but working, so have to go in a few minutes. Just drop by to show support. Thanks, Forbidden. Glad to see you again. How Lucifer feels about Quasi. He acknowledges you. You have to work on getting to know Lucifer. Dijana said, nice work session. Keep doing like that. So is your hypnosis. So I understand I must work more to deserve better things. Yes. I won't say deserve, but like the more you work, the closer you are to, well, A, common sense, and B, the more energy you put into it, the easier for the spirits to give you what you want, right? Like maybe if, let's say you want to buy a car, let's say you want to buy, I don't know, like a Rolls Royce, you kind of like, it won't just manifest, right? Um, maybe do a lot of research, go to a lot of dealers. At the same time, you try to fit the Rolls Royce into your life. Maybe for now it's vanity. Maybe in the near future, a Rolls Royce may help you in your business. Maybe you want to be a chauffeur or something, you know. And when if you have done all the work and you know how much it costs to maintain a Rolls Royce, and you know a mechanics that had an experience working with Rolls Royce before and things like that. And after all that, you may find a good deal, or maybe somebody is going out of business and they have an extra car they want to sell, or maybe you find one that is a fixer upper and you have already connected with all the mechanics around, and then you get one for a good price. This is how you manifest, right? So yeah, so the more work you do on your part, um, the easier it is for those chances to happen, for you to get what you want, right? Quasi said, wait from. Yeah, it's kind of like a loaded question, right? Lucifer said, are you fishing for a compliment? He said, is that not a sign of weakness, right? That's what you said. Like, what do you want him to say? You're good looking and you're gifted and you're smart. Lucifer thinks you're fishing for a compliment. Like, you go to a girl and said, am I good looking? The Jonah said, what do you recommend me to do for Lucifer? That's a pretty open question, man. I mean, do what you have been doing. Keep doing the rituals, one day at a time. The reason you're asking me this question is because you haven't done enough rituals. It's kind of like asking, what do you recommend me to do to get muscles? Well, do push-ups. The reason why you don't have muscles right now is you haven't done enough push-ups, right? Just being real. Like, because we're evoking Lucifer, you're gonna hear some pretty sharp and debative tone. Let's put it that way. Like, Lucifer is not going to kiss your ass and tell you what you want to hear. All right. Any more questions about the occult or Lucifer or the hypnosis or whatnot? All right, so we're doing pretty good today. We're live for 2 hours and 38 minutes. So I may not be a IRL streamer yet, but maybe I should like do Twitch and Kick. But it would be like a pretty boring Twitch. All right, I will give another 2 minutes for any last questions, comments, because I know you type it and then it takes a minute to travel around the world to be on my screen. So I leave in about 2 minutes. Let you guys type in a question. And if you have a good question, we can keep talking. But I think we are pretty question out today. And I know this is like a last minute, like, hey, Quasi, add me on Instagram. Everybody here has already added me to Instagram, right? So when I'll be doing a live stream. Oh, you're banned from Instagram? Yeah, I have TikTok, but I don't use it. Maybe in the future. TikTok is messed up, man. Like a lot of times the login doesn't work. Like I have some of my profiles that I couldn't log in, and like they take too much of your personal information or whatnot. Like maybe I would do it like a simul stream, but like TikTok has to cooperate. Ashley said, "Thank you, Lucifer. Thank you, Dion. Thank you for your time. Everybody have a wonderful day. Dion, whatever you do turns out to go fishing and your success and blessing always." Thank you, Ashley. Dejana said, thanks, Dejana. Loves you too. Gold, not golf. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. FGFG said, thank you for tonight, Dion. Thank you, FGFG. Oh, it's good talking to you. Quasi said, I just gonna connect with Luz for, yes, do your ritual. Like everybody here work their ass off as a black magician, and we all have other jobs. Like we read excessively, we do rituals obsessively to get to the point of where we are. But it is highly rewarding. Ask anybody here that do black magic. It takes you to a level that you've never could have imagined before. So in any case, I think everybody got what you have to say, and we have a good day today. We covered a lot of grounds. And let's see if I have time to do this again next week. So Fiat Magick, let magic be done. And God willing, maybe we'll be here next week, maybe not. Check up my Instagram account. Hey, Ashley, are you on Instagram? Ashley, add me on Instagram, okay? So you'll know when I'll be doing live stream again. All right, thanks for everybody for showing up. Thank you for all your support. Have a good day. Have a good week ahead. Let magic be done via Magick.